Hey y'all, I'm LaShonda and welcome to Saving Grace Suppers. It's time to pull up your seat at our table. Today I am going to come to you in ponytail and sweatshirt because this one wasn't planned. I made a boo-boo in the kitchen this week and I'm going to show you guys how you can redeem something like that and not have to throw things out and have waste, but find a way to salvage it and still have a great meal for your family. Okay, so this all started when I made the boo-boo of going into the pantry and grabbing what I thought was tomatoes with basil, garlic, and oregano for some spaghetti sauce. And I put that in with some onions that I had chopped and sauteed and some garlic, and I was gonna add more herbs to kind of complement that flavor for spaghetti sauce. And what I did instead is I grabbed these tomatoes. These tomatoes are also petite diced tomatoes. However, these are the tomatoes with jalapenos and habanero peppers. Not the same thing, and they don't make spaghetti sauce really very good. So, take two is today. So I'm gonna take that spaghetti sauce blender and I'm gonna turn it into chili. You know, the weather is turning cooler and a sweatshirt today, and so it's that time of year. So we're gonna take that spaghetti sauce blender and turn it into a masterpiece simply by taking what was intended to be spaghetti sauce and now it's gonna be chili. But what I've done is out of my freezer, I've gotten some ground beef that I already had cooked up and put in a bag and froze it so that I could use it in a later meal. And turns out that's gonna be today. In addition to the ground beef, I have the sauce that was intended to be spaghetti sauce, but now we're gonna transform it into that chili. And I'm gonna be adding some things to take it down that chili road. Some spices like cumin and chili powder, and probably some beans. I know that's a controversial thing to say, especially because I'm from Texas. But yes, I like beans, and I think that will also help tone down the spice a little bit, because I want my kids to eat this as well as the rest of the family. Here is all we're gonna need today, I think. We're gonna start with the spaghetti sauce gone too spicy, so we're gonna turn that into the chili. And then we've got a can of tomatoes. Those are fire roasted, but they don't have any spices in them because I do want to tone down the spice in this just a little bit. Some kidney beans, chili powder, and cumin to take those Italian flavors that we were going to do in the spaghetti sauce and turn it into the chili flavors that we want for this. And then that ground beef that I pulled out of the freezer, it's thawed now. We're gonna get that started and then start adding some of the other ingredients to Mr. Dutch Oven. Here we go. Okay, that meat is warmed through and ready to get some other flavors going in here. We have the tomato sauce that was supposed to be for spaghetti and is way too spicy. So this is now going to become the base for our chili. And then we are going to add a can of drained and rinsed kidney beans. And then a can of just fire roasted tomatoes. So there's not any spices or anything in this. I think that'll help the heat level that's already in the tomatoes that are in there. Okay, it's time to turn those chili flavors up a notch. We're gonna add some chili powder and we're gonna add some cumin. And those are just gonna add some really good flavor to this chili. And we're gonna let this simmer for a while and see how our experiment to kind of rehab a kitchen blender into a masterpiece, how that turns out. Okay, while our now chili is simmering, I just wanted to address some of the other ways that you can redeem a cooking or kitchen blender and turn it into something wonderful. So adjusting spices. Sometimes it might be too salty and you can add something like water or no sodium chicken broth or other spices. You can even add to the volume. So I could have done this here too for spiciness. instead of having a small amount of fairly spicy spaghetti sauce, I could have added much more tomato or something to it in order to counteract, and that spiciness would have been diffused throughout, much less spicy overall. I chose to repurpose in this situation, but you can also dilute in order to reduce either a spice or a flavor that's too much. Something you can do if something is too thin, thicken it with a slurry, where you just mix water and cornstarch cold and slowly whisk it into a warm dish. That's a great way to thicken something up when it's too thin for what you were going for. You can make that larger amount. So repurposing, adjusting spices, thickening with a slurry, completely repurposing. These are all things that you can do to take something where you have an oops in the kitchen and turn it into something that's still wonderful that your family will really enjoy eating. Okay, our repurposed chili has been simmering a while. It smells incredible in here. Wish you could smell this. So I've got out some corn chips and some cheese. Okay, that is so good, y'all. I am so glad that today turned into a chili day. Kind of a surprising thing, but fantastic. I'm gonna top it off with my corn chips and cheese, and it's Frito pie time. It is chili time. It is that time of year, y'all. Whether you were planning for it or not, have some chili, have some Frito pie. You'll be happy you did. Okay, I hope today was a great reminder that you can, in fact, take something that was an accident in the kitchen that you didn't intend to do and turn it into something wonderful and not have to waste something by throwing it out when it doesn't go as planned. Whether it's too salty, too spicy, too thin, there are lots of things that you can do to remedy that situation, and we've covered a few today. I'd love to hear from you on how you handle situations like this, and don't forget to comment as well on whether or not you are a corn chips on bottom or corn chips on top when it comes to your Frito pie. I'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so that you can see more cooking videos from us, and we will see you next time on Saving Grace Suppers. Bye-bye.